Hello and welcome. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today I am creating the look of a winter night sky, and it's much easier than it appears to be. I'm going to be using the Winter Woods bundle. It's a wonderful stamp and die combination available in the holiday catalog from Stampin' Up! The technique will use a sponge brayer, a silicone mat, and I've got 3 ink colors. I'm starting off with a watercolor paper panel, and I'm going to use my lightest color first, which is balmy blue. There will be a snow bank in the very forefront at the bottom, so there's no need for me to color down all the way to the bottom. But I know I do want my lightest color closest to the horizon line. The next color is Blueberry Bushel. I'm going from lights to dark, and then I'll blend that color all the way down. Ink blending can be done with many different tools. My favorite to get a nice blended look is a brayer. The brayer takes ink, and this one is made of sponge, and it applies it on a roller to the paper. And a little bit of ink can go a really long way using this technique. My third color is Gorgeous Grape, which I wanted to have a purple tinge to the skyline. And I'm going to bring that purple tinge all the way down over the blue very lightly so that it looks like it's definitely all one place and there's not just purple at the top. It will all be tied together. So this is not a typical color combination, but it works out really well for this skyline. I filled my Stampin' Spritzer with tap water, and I am using some droplets to drop onto the paper panel so that it will bring a little bit of the ink back up and give me some splotchy looking pieces. To give the look of stars and snow, I'm putting a few drops of the Craft ink refill, which is a different kind of ink from my stamp pads. This is a pigment ink, and I've diluted it a little bit with the tap water, and now I'm using some paint splatters to spray that beautiful look on the sky, and it is just transforming into a nighttime sky. And I love this look. It's very unique, and you could try it with many different color combinations. Because I want this panel to lie down flat, I'm attaching it to a layer of basic black that is 1/8 of an inch larger than my watercolor panel. And I'm attaching this unit to the card base that's gray with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Now I'm going to create the snowbank that is going to go in the front part of the card project, and I want it to just cover the watercolor panel area. So once I've put that in place and secured a few of the trees that are die cut from black, then I'm going to, one at a time, add some frost white shimmer paint to the black area of the tree. I don't want to completely coat it. I want there to just be like some gaps and spaces that do not have any of the coloring, because that way it'll be more noticeable if there are areas that don't have some of the frost white. And I need it to look like ice. That was my goal, was to look like it was an icy, snow, cold night. So I'm going to now attach all of these pieces with liquid glue, with the exception of the snowbank that is going to be applied with some Stampin' Dimensionals, and then I'm going to use some mini glue dots to adhere the third tree. Now I've got 2 trees that have the shimmer paint on them, and the third tree does not. The third tree is just plain black. And that is also going to draw attention to the fact that the other trees do have shimmer paint on them. Sometimes in a project, when there is a comparison, then that way it stands out just a little bit more. It's funny how we can trick the brain that way sometimes. And here's that third tree with the mini glue dot. Now I'm going to finish off the inside of the card with echoing that black color and using one of the other tree stamps from the Winter Woods stamp set. This was a really fun project for me to create. Art is so interpretive and it can be so creative and fun. It's almost like a therapy for me, and I hope you enjoy it too. Thank you all so much for joining me today. All of the measurements and all of the supplies that I have used are down in the video description. There's also more information on my blog at jennyhalldesign.com. Be sure to go over and visit, and if you do, then leave me a comment. I would love to hear you. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any more of my fantastic projects that I am so excited to share with you. Thanks again for joining me today. I'll see you next time.
Hi, my name is Trip. Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.